Good. Good. Good.
Hi, Coach. Erin Warbar at the LA Times. You know, Kiki's always been such a physical player. In what ways have you seen something new you've learned about her game since you've adjusted to the pros?
I don't know. I don't know if she's. I don't know if there's anything new. I think she's just done a tremendous job of adapting and adjusting to the pros. The size, the physicality. I mean, playing against her in college, she was always big and strong and athletic and explosive, and I think she's just kind of taken that to another level. Her ability to, if she catches it deep, it doesn't have to dribble much. You can't really stop it, just because she's strong and athletic. But she's doing a really good job of attacking, getting to the free throw line, and using that just God-given natural ability. So yeah, I just think she's done a tremendous job of adapting to being a pro. She had the body and the physical traits and the skill, and she's done a good job.
Hey Coach, over the last couple of games, it feels like you've really attached Plum and Hamby's minutes together a lot. I'm wondering what the logic is, and then what you're hoping to get out of the offense when the two of them are sitting.
I don't know if it's been the last few games. Maybe that's just coincidental that they've been out at the same time. Those are our two leading scorers. So you want to try to get them, and I think they're almost like siblings in terms of they've played together for so much. They're such good friends. They're like sisters in that way. So they do have that chemistry, and you can see it on the court. We're still, and I feel like a broken record, but with our kind of roster, people in and out, and new, and all the things, it's been hard to kind of get a rotation that's been, we're still figuring it out. So to the second part of your question of what do we do when they're out together, I think we have, enough, obviously, but I feel like I'm still learning the best rotation right now with the 10 that we have.
Hey Coach, last game you can kind of see a lot more player movement, and just the energy looked like there was much increase. How much does like the return of Ray Burrell help with that? 'Cause she's like an Energizer bunny, just running, going crazy. Yeah. How much does she help just bringing that energy to make the other players say, hey, we need to match that?
Yeah, it's been, she is the Energizer bunny, in the locker room, on the court, in the hallway, at lunch, wherever it is. She brings life and energy, which is nice, and it's been great to look, when it's time to sub, to put her in and know that she's going to bring the energy level up. So and she is so athletic, and she puts pressure on the rim. She can attack, and since she's been back, we've been playing a little bit of a smaller lineup too, moving Rukia to play the 4 spot a little bit, and then that's just basically 4 guards, which enables us to play with a little bit more pace in the half court, and I think that's probably what you're seeing.
Jackie.
Hey Coach, Jackie Ray TV. I had a chance to talk to Emma last week, and she said the thing that impresses her most about you is your ability to really keep everyone locked in and encourage them despite the hard season, and that everyone's buying into the system. To hear that the players are still buying in even despite the hard start, how does that make you feel?
That's great to hear. I think I've been blessed to get this group. We've got a lot of talent and stars and all the things, and they've been great. They're eager to get this thing where we all want it to be. And I think for us, and for me particularly, it's just to stay steady and not get too high or too low. And I know I've said that before, and I think, that is who I am. And I think they're seeing that that's authentic and genuine, but I believe in them, and I really do. And so it's genuine. And so when I think they feel that, the confidence that I have in them, and I can be intense and demand, but I think they know that I love them too.
Thanks, Coach.
John.
Coach John W. Davis with the Southern California News Group. This is the 7th time this season that you're going to have a chance to start a winning streak here. What would it mean to you to end this first half on a winning streak and then pick up that 8th win, which would then equal last year's season total? Yeah,
I mean, if we can do that before the All-Star break, that would be a great accomplishment, considering what we've kind of been through. According to the metrics, we've had the hardest strength of schedule in the league as well. We've played Minnesota 4 times already. just to mention a few things, but, yeah, I mean, it'd be great, and again, we're trying to stay one at a time, and Washington's a good team. They're dangerous, and they kind of play similar to us in terms of, analytically driven, but, you know, this would be a great win for us going into the All-Star break, having won 2 in a row at home, and then we turn right around and play them at their place after the break, which is interesting too, but, they'll be fresh in our minds, but, you know, we've talked about that a little bit, just like this is a chance for us to get on a little streak, and but we know we have our hands full too.
Coach, with the Mystics having a couple of all-stars and a lockdown defender in Brittany Sykes, what's been the overall message when it comes to playing them for the first time tonight?
Yeah, they're good, and they're young, and they're you know, playing. I think they're the youngest team in the league. They I guess to answer your question, I think, you know, they lead the league in free throws. They do a tremendous job of spacing you out, and they're just trying to create an advantage where they're just gonna put their head down and go. They're very athletic, whether it's the, you know, Shakira Austin or Kiki or, you know, Sykes you mentioned. And I've been, you know, going through this as a rookie coach in this league. I've been blown away at the talent, and Sykes is one where I, you know, really studying them, it's like, dang, she is good. She is so athletic and fast, and defensively everywhere, can get to the bucket. So I've been very impressed with her, and they should have 3 All-Stars in that regard, because she deserves to be one.
Hey, Coach. You guys are 3rd in true shooting percentage in the league. Number 1, what does that tell you about your team and the shots that you guys are getting and the way that they're running the offense? And number 2, you are without players, and you've been having to funnel players in and out throughout the season so far. But when you hear that you are a top 3 shooting offense in the league, does that give you like a baseline going forward that when you guys are fully intact, you have a blueprint of what it can look like?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think offensively, you know, we're in all categories, we're in the top half of everything, right? And where we've got to get better is defensively. We do. We know it. And you know, we're going to continue to grind that axe to that end. But yeah, I am confident. I'm humble about everything, but I'm confident in what we're doing offensively is the right thing. I know it can get better, and I know we will continue to tweak it and mess with lineups and stuff, but I do believe in the style of basketball to get the highest percentage shots. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that. And the thing that's hurt us offensively has just been turning it over. When we've taken care of the ball, we've been really tough to beat. When we don't, we're pretty beatable. And so that's been the biggest thing offensively that we have to clean up. But along that line too, though, I don't want them to play tight, or, you know, I think the best players, the best teams that I've been around and seen, watched, players play confidently and they play loose, right? They get into that flow. So if they're worried too much about turning it over, you play a little tighter, you play a little more reserved, and that's not the system. So it's kind of this balance of letting them have the freedom, but we've got to clean up those turnovers that, you know, we kind of bring on ourselves. Defense is going to create some, but the ones where it's like, come on, we got to clean that up. That's where we got to get better.
Hey Coach, someone who has obviously not been turning the ball over as of late, Julia Alamond, the 15 assists to just 2 turnovers of the last 3 games. What is that production result of in your mind with her?
She's been phenomenal, and you know she has helped our team tremendously. Her being the starting point guard, it takes Kelsey, you know, the pressure off of her to bring it up and create. Getting her off the ball, I think, has helped KP as well. But Julie is just so steady, and that's how she is as a human being. She's just steady, consistent, and then just really, really smart. Understands, you know, where all 5 people need to be, what everybody's supposed to be doing. You know, so in that way, she keeps us organized out there. But then she's also really smart in that she understands who needs to get the shot. You know, she's going to do her job to do that, or what we need. You know, she constantly comes over and suggests a play or whatever, and I've never said no. It's always like, yep, good call. So she's just she's another extension of a coach out there.
We'll finish on Zoom with Cameron Ruby. Hi, Coach. Karen Ruby from the Next. With the Mystics having won their last 3 games, what kind of stands out to you on film about how they found success? And then particularly in the fourth quarter, how does that affect the game plan?
Yeah, well, I think it affects the game, I think it's something like 6 games, they've been down 8 or 10 points in the fourth quarter and they've come back to win, some stat like that. That just speaks to their resolve and, they're not panicking. And so I told the team that this morning at shoot around, like, even if you get a lead against these guys, it's never safe. They're never gonna quit, they're never gonna stop competing, and I have a lot of respect for that. That's a goal for every team. And I think part of that probably is some of their youth, they just keep swinging. But I've been impressed with they've got good chemistry out there. They're running their stuff well. And defensively, they play a percentage D where they're seemingly, it looks like they're trying to not let you shoot threes. 3 is more than 2, that's the analytic piece of it. So we've got to do a good job of getting into the paint and being patient, not taking the long 2s that we try to stay away from. They're gonna give you those. And so we've got to be disciplined to just keep moving the ball, keep attacking to get the shot we want, not the shot they want us to take.
Thanks, Coach.
All right,
Thanks,
see you
Coach.
afterwards.
See you
Thanks,
after.
guys.
Good luck.
Thank you.